3 2 1 ویدئوی دوم. Hi. As I promised last week, today I want to talk about a few creative exercises that can help you get through creative block or help you build a consistent creative routine for yourself. If I had a nickel for every time I said creative. Some days you might not have the energy to work on your main projects, but you can always squeeze in a few of these exercises without feeling like you're losing touch with your creativity. You don't have to do all of them every day, otherwise they might take up to 2 hours or so. I know how hard it can be to stay focused on your art when life is unstable. During the 12-day war we had, I thought I would channel the hell out of that misery into art, but I just found myself sinking one step at a time, all the way down to the bottom of the Maslow pyramid. That's why distraction-based exercises can be helpful. Over time, we will explore exercises specific to filmmakers and editors, but I think these are just fine to begin with. 1. The 15-word stream. This one was recommended by my editing tutor after a course I took during the pandemic. It was a film editing course. Each day at a specific hour, place a blank paper in front of you and write 15 words, any words. They don't have to connect or make sense at first. It will feel random and messy, but after a few days, you'll start noticing a pattern. Your thoughts become more structured, coherent, and surprisingly insightful. This one is non-negotiable if you really want to see improvement, and it barely takes 5 minutes. Number 2, the let it out chaos rite. This one's all about letting your intrusive, surreal, or weird ideas go wild. When I studied theater directing, there was a heavy focus on logic. Every decision in the script had to have motivation and reason. And while I understand how essential it is, sometimes it can kill an entire mood. I remember writing realistic plays and secretly wanting my characters to do something absolutely absurd, something that didn't fit their world but felt darkly funny or freeing. So I started dedicating a few minutes every week to write the most bizarre, surreal phrases. Even 2 per day can help you feel liberated from all the rules of art. 3. The unlikely pair. This one's especially fun if you're a filmmaker, designer, or writer. Take 2 completely unrelated things and force them into a single concept. For example, try combining grief and bubblegum, or hospital and wedding. At first, your brain will resist because it's trained to seek logic and patterns that already exist. But once you push past that initial discomfort, something really interesting happens. Your subconscious starts filling in the gaps, building emotional or visual bridges between the 2 elements. That's what I love about creativity, that tension between what makes sense and what doesn't. As a filmmaker, this exercise helps you think in symbols, contrasts, and emotional metaphors, the heart of visual storytelling, really. So when you combine 2 random concepts, don't look for logic right away. Look for a feeling, something absurd, tragic, beautiful, or poetic that emerges between them. And yes, this method also works great for conceptual design or logo creation because it forces you to break the habit of cliches and push into deeper symbolic thinking. Object storytelling. Number 4. Pick an object. It could be something meaningful from your room, your set, or your story, and tell a short story from its point of view. This helps you understand perspective and emotion in a completely different way. Maybe it's a bed in your room that has been hiding a monster all these years. The same one that makes those strange little noises that you never traced. Or maybe it's a wine glass in some bachelor's flat. kissed by many, many, many beautiful women, but never had the chance to see any of them again. 5. The layered brainstorm. This one's more structured. Take your next big idea, whether it's a script, film concept, or artwork, and break it down into parts. Each day, brainstorm one element. One day could be about your character's physical appearance. The next about their backstory. The next, their desires or fears. This prevents burnout and helps you build your world layer by layer. 6. Mind mapping. This one's visual and super satisfying to look at. You can do it on a paper or use a mind mapping app. I struggled with it at first because seeing all my scattered ideas on one page felt quite overwhelming, but the second time was definitely easier. Eventually, I started adding pieces of my storyboard to it, some sketches, used favorite colors and fonts, and it's quite fun. It is now one of my personal creative maps, and it is surprisingly powerful for organizing your thoughts. 7. The what if. I have to confess that when I first encountered this exercise, I thought it meant writing what if questions for my characters or my own decisions. Like, what if she makes this decision? Or what if I choose that sound design for that scene? And honestly, that version is still helpful. You can think of it as exercise 6.5. But the real what if exercise is something deeper. It's about asking yourself the most unfiltered, unreasonable, or emotionally charged questions possible. It's not about fixing plot points, it's about unlocking imagination. What if an octopus rolled the ocean? What if a camera only recorded when a person was showing real emotions? These are not just surreal ideas, they're ways of breaking free from repetition. They push you to imagine worlds where your emotions can exist without the limits of logic. 8. Dialogue only challenge. Write a short piece, 1 page, no context, no descriptions, dialogue only. You'll start to feel how people's personalities, moods, and relationships come alive through words alone. It's also an amazing warm-up for understanding pacing and tone storytelling. I read a book almost a decade ago, Still Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. One thing that stuck with me was his idea that creativity requires discipline. And it makes total sense to me now. When I started my career in arts while studying theater directing, I remember being bullied by my classmates and even professors. The environment was very toxic, and most of the time when they made me feel like an outsider was because I refused to play by the rules. Those people, they thought constantly smoking, being reckless, partying until 4 a.m. These are requirements of becoming successful. Probably as a result of watching too many movies that portray stereotypes of artists. So yeah, discipline is a huge part of it. Next week, I'll be talking about my narrative series that I have officially launched on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. It's called To Die in a Cemetery. And I'm honestly so excited about this one because it's like my most intrusive, surreal thoughts finally transforming into poetry, darkness, and melancholia. Thank you for watching, and as always,
So we'll meet again, I'm sure.